Hi, my first 5-star of the month, Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. My first 5-star. I've waited a long time to have this month to have a 5-star, and it's eventually here. I wonder whether it's going to be like the buses, that you wait for ages and then 3 come together, but we'll see. Anyway, this one on the Women's Prize for Fiction long list. I would love this to be on the shortlist that is announced next. I think it's next week it's announced. Anyway, she acknowledges in her afterword her sort of debt to Charles Dickens and David Copperfield. David Copperfield is a novel I read so many years ago. I think I was probably at school when I read it. So a lot of it, there were bits of it that were familiar and bits I could sort of see how it merged into this. David Copperfield, it was written by Charles Dickens, and it showed the effect of poverty on the lives of children. And this draws on elements of that tale. But what it doesn't only show the effects of poverty. It looks at the effect of the opioid epidemic that's in Appalachia, where the book is set. And it looks at the foster care system that is in places corrupt as well, where young lives are just allowed to slip through the cracks. Demon Copperhead, our hero, he's born of a teenage addict mother, and we follow him as he navigates his life from an abusive stepfather, a foster family which is little more than unpaid child labour, and then we see his decline as he becomes one of the addicts, and you see what it does to the people around him, the other addicts and people that are involved. We see him as a child, a teenager, a young man. And as a reader, you can see that there is a spark in him. There's a spark in him that just wants that chance to grow into a magnificent flame. But he is a lad that feels his background. He always feels that nothing is ever going to come right for him because of where he comes from. When things do start to go right, when you start to see him actually climbing out, his own feelings of unworthiness drag him back down again. It's depressing at times, and there is very little light and joy in here. And it's almost like when you're reading it, you're watching with your fingers peeping out between your fingers at what he does next. His one desire through the whole of this book, he wants to see the ocean. And that is the only thing he ever really wishes for, to see the ocean. I loved it. I absolutely loved this, and I liked him as a character. He has got so many flaws, but there is something about him that you are drawn to. And it shows us, I suppose, that things haven't moved on an awful lot from Charles Dickens' times. There are always children and adults trying to survive after they've been consigned to the scrap heap by the society for one reason or another. But I do hope this goes further than the long list in the Women's Prize for Fiction, because I loved it. So, my first 5-star of April, Demon Copperhead. So happy reading. Take care.